Hi everyone, welcome back to Planet Dirt. And today we are doing more seed starting. So very excited. We started all of the hot peppers, or what I thought was all of the hot peppers, last time, and I'll link that video here. My brother came over and we had some fun starting seeds together, so that was a good time. But now I'm going to get the rest of the peppers seeded, and I also have a few flowers. So my thought process was that I wanted to do all the hot peppers first because in my experience, they just take forever to germinate. Like some of the packets say like 14 to 20 days or something like that. And I don't know that I've ever had a hot pepper germinate in less than 3 weeks. So that's like the low end for me. So I just wanted to get those started as early as possible. It's about a week later, and I'm going to get some sweet peppers started. None of my hot peppers have germinated at all yet, so I'm glad I got those started first. So today we're going to go into all of the sweet peppers that I have, and I also want to get some flowers started. So I plant a lot of flowers, and I've had some trouble with germination before on a few varieties, and I actually started them by winter sowing them this last year. So, well, this last year, like 2 months ago, I started those in some milk jugs, and I can link to that video as well. So a lot of the things that I would normally be starting around this time, I already have some going, and I'm really just interested to see how those fare. I don't want to overload myself. And I can always start more flowers later. I have wildflower mixes and stuff that I like to sprinkle around. So there's not going to be a shortage of flowers if I don't start more of the ones that I already have outside. So I have some of those going. I have the Bells of Ireland out there going. I have a bunch of snapdragons. I have some snapdragons that have already seeded themselves from last year, and they're probably going to die again because we're not done with our cold weather and all of our snow here. So I'm not banking on those still being alive in the spring, but you never know. All right, I'm going to go over the varieties first because that's my favorite part, and then we'll start getting them in some pots. So I have just, a standard bell pepper that I start every year. I like having a bell pepper, but also they're not insanely prolific. I don't know if that's just me or the fertilizer that I use or what, but all of the regular standard California bell peppers that I've ever started, like I'll get a few big bell peppers per plant. Like it's not insane. Like some of the other peppers that I start, I get like bushels instead of handfuls. And I think I can link to the pepper harvest video I did at the end of last season. And that was like 3 plants, and I got like a giant basket full of peppers at the end of the season. So I think I just have better luck with all of the different fun varieties of peppers. So I also have a sun bright bell pepper. I have never grown this one before. It was in the M.I. Gardner grab bag that I got at the end of last season. Cubanelles. I grew these last year and they produced really well for me, so I'm going to grow those again. Jimmy Nardellos. I didn't actually have many of these turn red on the plant, and I think that was my fault. Where I had them was a spot that was getting a little bit shaded out, so it took them a while to get to their full size. So I only got a couple that were actually red, but they tasted really good. Shishitos. I will always have shishitos in my garden. These plants are so insanely prolific. I've gotten so many peppers off of these plants. It's insane. And they produce pretty early because they're not very big. They're only about this big and, little tiny peppers, but super prolific plants. And I love chopping those up and like using them in omelets. And they're just a very, you can use them in a lot of different applications. Very versatile is the word I was looking for. Sweet banana peppers. I love these. I'm going to grow these again this year. And I'm gonna try to make cowboy candy that is not spicy. So I heard that these are really good to make cowboy candy out of. And I have jalapenos as well. I started a few of those plants last week. Um, and maybe I'll do like some half and half. I don't know, so that they're not insanely spicy because I like cowboy candy. I'm just a wimp, guys. I can't handle spicy food at all. And so I eat like a bite of it and it tastes good, but then I can't eat anymore. So I think I'm going to try making it with the sweet banana peppers and then see what happens. And then this one is the one where I was like, most of these are sweet peppers today, but this is the Hungarian yellow wax pepper, and it says on this that it's sweet. So, I don't know. Can I get that to focus? There we go. So it says that it's sweet, but then if you read the directions on it, it says it's a sweet hot flavor when they're immature. And then if you let them ripen, they get almost inedibly hot is what it says on here. So I don't know how that translates to a sweet pepper, but I think someone has some explaining to do, Lucy. So I'm going to start these today as well, and we will see what happens. We'll see if I'm even able to eat them. But my husband loves spicy stuff. So if nothing else, I'll throw something in a salsa for him or something. So those are all of the not spicy, I guess, and one spicy peppers that I'm growing this year. So I'm going to get all of those started today. And then I also have a bunch of flowers that I want to get started, and they're mostly ones that I haven't grown before. So I will go over those as well, but I'm going to get the peppers into some soil first, and then we'll get to the flowers after. All right, so that is all for the sweet peppers. I got them all in the little cells. I did end up planting a couple extra of the California Wonder Bell and the bright yellow bright Sunbright is what it's called. Sunbright bell peppers. I planted a couple extras of those because I had extra room in one of the 6 cells, and I don't know, I don't like planting different types of things in the same cell pack. I think it's just like things that are similar tend to grow similarly. I don't know. So I didn't want to put flowers that were going to grow faster than the peppers in that when I was probably going to have to up pot the flowers before I would have to up pot the peppers. I don't know, but maybe it's just me. Are you like that too? Is it just a me thing? You can be honest. So we got all of those seeded up, and then we're going to move on to the flowers. So like I said, I have a bunch of flowers that are already out in the milk jugs that I used to winter sow. And then these are more flowers that most of them are new to me that I've never planted before. I think I planted milkweed at some point, but I think it was late in the season last season. And it is a 65-day to maturity plant, milkweed. And it's really pretty and it's a perennial. And so it might come back out there. Zones 4 through 8, it might come back out there, but I don't know if it was big enough to be able to overwinter here. So I'm going to start some more of it just in case. Because it is really pretty and I did want some. I just don't think I grew it in enough time for it to be able to overwinter here last year. So I'm going to grow that one again. And then the rest of these are all new to me. I've never planted them before, but most of them have like over 100 days to maturity. So I'm planting them earlier so that I'll start getting cuttings off of them earlier rather than later. So Aster, I have a yellow, a violet, and a silver aster. Got some variety with the asters. I've never grown them before, so we're going to see. I have 2 types of strawflower. I have a purple red and a vintage white. And I don't know, is anyone else like this? Like, as pretty as these packets are, like the little drawings on them, I like seeing actual pictures of them, like what they're actually supposed to look like. Because when it grows, like, I have no like memory recognition when it's just a drawing and not an actual picture. I don't know. I've never grown them before. It's not like I have anything to go off of. I have a couple of different types of zinnias. Also never grown zinnias before. I know that they're all the rage and all the gardening channels grow them, but I have never gone that deep into flower gardening before. So thought I'd start with a couple and see what happens. So I have a salmon and an Isabellini. I don't know. It's like a soft yellow, I think. Soft, buttery yellow blooms. We'll see. And then lastly, I have a couple of Bachelor Buttons. So I got the regular, just plain white, but then I also got a mixed color because I figured that would be pretty if nothing else. So I'm going to get these potted up as well. And hopefully I started them early enough. I think I started a bunch of my flowers last year in like early January because so many of them just take a really long time to grow. But I didn't exactly have room to pot them up at the time. So I was a little worried about starting them too early this year. So I don't know. Wish me luck. Hopefully I started them on time. we got all of the flowers seeded in. I forgot how big the milkweed seeds were. That one surprised me. And then the zinnias, I had never planted zinnias before. Those ones are pretty big seeds as well. So I'm hoping that these little tiny 6 cells are big enough for them. But if not, I guess I'll just be uppotting them sooner than I thought. The rest of the flower seeds were pretty small, so I think I'll be fine with those. If you have any experience with any of these flowers, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to learn from you. And if not, we will learn together and I will share my experience. Thank you so much for coming along with me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.